One's ready. One's ready. Go!
Your drive is no longer motivation. Why do you guys run? Why do you go work out? Is it because of a motivational video? What is it? It's purpose, right? That others may live. And I need you guys to understand that, all right? Drive is your ability to keep going when you don't want to keep going.
If you just make that your default.
Everybody understand? Sir.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. You're in the team room and this is your daily drop for the 20th of May, brought to you by Tasty Gains. If you are looking for premium creatine gummies that actually have more creatine in them per serving than what they advertise, because they've been third-party tested twice over now, and it turns out they actually put more creatine into their stuff than what they say they do, then you want to go over to tastygains.com to get yourself some of that. Also, Operator Training Summit, we have slots available still for San Diego in August. We are working to do something in Pennsylvania in September. I know we had originally said June, but we shifted it to September because it was kind of last minute. Plus, it was really difficult with finding a pool because so many of the local swim teams there were doing like their final competitions that weekend. So we moved it to September and that'll be solid there. And it's already up on the website. And then we are still trying to look at putting something together in Ohio, University of Miami in October. And then I still need to talk to the guys about this, but I'd really like to do a Las Vegas in December. That's just me. You guys let us know if that is something that you're interested in doing. All right, going on to the Army. More U.S. troops withdrawal from the European... Man, let me try that again. Jeez. More U.S. troop withdrawals from Europe are expected. Europe should expect additional United States troop withdrawals within or as European NATO allies build their own conventional defense capabilities, according to the U.S. General Serving, that's weird. Serving as the alliance's top military commander for the region. We've kind of talked about this before, like there's pros and cons to this. It is super expensive for us to lease land and pay overseas housing allowance and cost of living allowance and stuff like that to service members. So it's really expensive. However, on the backside of that, it's great because we are able to forward deploy essentially. You know, we're already in Europe or we're already in the Pacific or something like that. And it means that we can get places quicker. Also, it's just kind of cool as a service member. That's one of the recruiting benefits is you get people that want to travel, not just within the U.S., but also outside of the U.S. Hey, you get a chance to go to Japan, or you can go to Korea, or you can go to, Germany or Italy, or you can get stationed in any of those kick-ass places. That is a recruitment tool as well. So, man, I don't know, man. I'm saying it because I enjoyed my time overseas. It was fantastic. I spent 8 years, not including deployments, but 8 years over in the United Kingdom. Now, the United Kingdom is not the same place that it was when I lived there. However, I still think that the being able to go overseas is a massive benefit. All right, next. Polish officials expressed concern over canceled U.S. troop deployment. That's because they were going to get a whole bunch of money for that. But Polish government leaders voiced worries over the Pentagon's abrupt cancellation of a deployment of more than 4,000 U.S. soldiers to NATO's eastern flank. Warsaw highlighted its multi-billion-dollar U.S. weapons purchase in appeals to retain American presence. It's not because they want us there for security, or I'm sure maybe there's a little bit of that, but really they want that sweet, sweet cash because it was 4,000 people coming is going to help out their economy a lot. And surprisingly, Poland's economy is actually doing pretty well. If you guys aren't tracking that, they have really come up in the world. So good on them. All right, next, Army transformation efforts face criticism 1 year in. 1 year after the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered major Army transformation tasks, including divesting legacy equipment and accelerating unmanned systems, the initiative is drawing increasing internal and external scrutiny. Probably, and I'm guessing here, I'm not chucking shade at the folks in the Army or the Secretary of Defense or any of those people, but when you do large sweeping initiatives like this, it takes time. This is a big, big machine to try and revector. And so, although there are great ideas, and I agree with the sentiment of, hey, you need to get rid of old legacy equipment, invest in new emerging technologies, accelerate unmanned systems, all that stuff that is super important. You also have to expect that there's going to be, one, a frozen middle, but two, it just takes time and it takes money. And right now, funding across the DOW is an issue. Maybe it won't be next year if we end up getting that 1.5 trillion, but still. All right, moving on to the Navy. Toilet issues on the USS Gerald R. Ford described as exaggerated. The Chief of Naval Operations told senators that reports of widespread plumbing problems aboard the USS Gerald R. Ford are highly exaggerated and not entirely accurate. Also, no surprise there, really, because everything that you were hearing about, although it ended up in news articles and stuff like that, was also because you have people leaking it on social media and leaking it to news press and everything like that. And hey, if you know this, if it bleeds, it leads, right? And anything to kind of make fun of and make the command look bad. Now, that's not to say that that's the case in everything, right? But and the people that are receiving, the tips or the, hey, just so you guys know, there's plumbing issues on the Gerald R. Ford. Like, you got to know where you're getting your information from, and that's not like they can go, they can't go validate what is being said. So anyway, next, MQ-25 Alpha Stingray cleared for deployment. Acting Secretary of the Navy Hung Chow announced that the MQ-25A Stingray unmanned carrier-based aircraft has been cleared for low-rate initial production and deployment. I don't know what that looks like, but I think I'm going to search it up and put it on the thumbnail. All right, next. FAA-18 Super Hornet pilots conduct touch-and-go landings on Iwo Jima. Naval aviators from 6 squadrons assigned to the USS George Washington practiced field carrier landings on Iwo Jima for 10 days, maintaining the historic training tradition. All right, so put in the comments if you know where this is from. I'm a Lemurian naval aviator. Let me know if you know what movie that's from, because it's just weird that they would say naval aviators. Anyway, nothing for the Marine Corps. Moving on to the Air Force. The Air Force reduces reenlistment bonuses for 2026. The U.S. Air Force has significantly cut the number of career fields eligible for active duty reenlistment bonuses in 2026, removing several maintenance, medical, and other specialties. Now, I have not gotten a chance to dive into the new regulation that actually identifies that to let you know what the Air Force Special Warfare ones are. I will do that though. But you got to ask yourself, why is this happening? There's a couple reasons why, right? And what's funny about this is I've actually talked about this before and then had people in the comments say that I wasn't being completely transparent when you start asking them questions and you realize like, oh yeah, I did say that. So you guys can go F yourselves. But so there's two big reasons why reenlistment bonuses get decreased or completely done away with. One is the manning and the career field health, right? So if the career field is, or that Air Force Specialty Code, or whatever that job is, if they have a healthy number of people in that career field, through all the years, not just like first term airmen or second term airmen, I'm talking about like through the years. And if you're not familiar with it, they have like zone A, B, C, and all that kind of stuff. It's usually, now we'll test myself here. I think there's 4 zones, maybe 5 zones. And each career field is different. Like some only have a zone A, whereas some have a zone A and B, and then not as Charlie or Delta. So it kind of depends on your career field. Anyway, so it depends on the manning and the career field health on whether or not they decrease or completely do away with the bonus. The other part about that is if the pot of money that funds those bonuses is dried up and there's nothing left, they can't afford to pay out the bonuses, which means you will not get the bonus and they will do away with it and that is why for the rest of the fiscal year 2026 there won't be any more reenlistment bonuses. Now, this isn't effective immediately, I don't believe. Again, I haven't seen the memo, but there probably is hey, if you want a bonus, you need to reenlist by 30 May, as an example. It might say that, I'm not sure. So it does give you a little bit of time, but you got to move. And if you're not eligible to reenlist at the time, then you might be shit out of luck. So those are the 2 big things. Are there a few more? Yes, but those are the 2 major things that dictate whether or not reenlistment bonuses are a thing or if they get decreased for your career field. Next, T-38 Talon fleet operations halted fleet-wide. The U.S. Air Force implemented a fleet-wide operational pause for all T-38 Talon training jets following a recent crash in Alabama where both pilots ejected safely. Jeez, man, there's been a lot of aviation incidences lately. Like, and I don't mean like in the last 6 months. I'm talking about in the last 5 years, 6 years. Next, Air Force tests rapidly deployable special operations aircraft. Air Force Special Operations Command is testing the Skyraider 2, or the OA-1K aircraft, which can be, excuse me, did not mean to cough in your ears, which can be disassembled, transported inside a cargo jet, and reassembled in the field for expeditionary operations. Now that sounds pretty sweet, and that aligns with what, let me see here, make sure I don't mess anything up here and get myself into trouble. We have other aircraft that are able to do that same kind of thing, and it's a pretty sweet capability. And the fact that you would be able to roll the Skyraider off and potentially have that thing airborne 30 minutes after landing. Now, I don't know if that's what the time is, but there are other aircraft that we can disassemble and reassemble and have up and running in 30 minutes. So maybe they can do it with the Skyraider. Nothing for the Space Force or Coast Guard. Moving on to the Secretary of Defense. The Pentagon awards $500 million contract for counter-drone technology. The Pentagon awarded Perennial Autonomy a $500 million contract to accelerate procurement of its counter-drone systems. Next, Pentagon begins sweeping review of the military legal system. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth directed a broad review of the Pentagon's legal system. Whatever the hell that means. Next, President of the United States. Trump edges towards possible new strikes on Iran. The Trump administration is considering military escalation against Iran to break the diplomatic deadlock, even after formally notifying Congress that Operation Epic Fury has ended. Next, Trump describes Taiwan as negotiating chip with China. President Donald Trump called U.S. arms sales to Taiwan a very good negotiating chip in dealings with China, prompting anxiety in Taipei about continued American support. Yeah, I gotta imagine that they are probably like, hey, WTF, dude? I thought we were boys. Next, operational stuff. Iran establishes new authority to manage Strait of Hormuz. Iran created a new body to oversee maritime traffic, impose tolls tolls, rather, and enforce restrictions in Strait of Hormuz as peace talks with the United States remain stalled. Next, drone strike sparks fire near UAE nuclear facility. I think we talked about this the other day, so I'm going to skip it. Israel conducts strikes in Lebanon. Israeli forces launch airstrikes in southern Lebanon, killing at least 19 people, including civilians, despite a recent ceasefire extension. Next, NATO jet shoots down Ukrainian drone over Estonia, which, if you guys haven't been to Estonia, that place is awesome. This is kind of what I'm talking about when you're talking about travel in the world and for recruitment and retention and giving people overseas assignments. Like, dude, Lithuania is awesome. Estonia is awesome. Latvia is awesome. Good times. A NATO air policing jet shot down a suspected Ukrainian drone over Estonian airspace. The first such incident amid growing concerns over stray drones from the Ukrainian conflict. And then last but not least, U.S. intelligence identifies mines in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. intelligence assessments indicate American forces have identified at least 10 mines in the Strait of Hormuz. All right, that's all we got for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We do appreciate you guys joining us. I had a great live with the members yesterday. Boys are hopping in the chat, revving things up. Man, thanks for joining. If you're already a member, thanks for being a member. If you haven't become a member yet, consider doing it. We'd love to have you. You get early access to episodes, and you get members only weekly. So there you go. And if you happen to be one of our tier 1s, after a certain amount of time, you get free merch. So there you go. All right, we're out here. See you.
Grind every day, yeah, we aim for the stars. Feet on the ground, but our heads are on Mars. Visions of glory, sweat on our skin. We craft our story, determined to win. We the titans, with hearts untamed. We face the giants in this battling game. Our dreams aloud, echoes of them remain. We stand as one, heading for the Hall of Fame. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We chase the lights till the final whistle. Believe it when we say we never settle. We did it, we did it, we did it.